Hello and welcome to episode 27 of Series 3 of Master League Story Mode. And it's everyone's favourite day of the year. It is! As tradition dictates, I have to say it like this. Transfer Deadline Day! But it's not as exciting as usual because we've already done a lot of our business. We've got some negotiations lined up that I put to you, the commenters, in the last episode. And a lot of you, as usual, got back with your opinions. And it's maybe not as clear-cut as I thought it would be. Not as simple. We'll see if we can get some money off Ruben first before we make any decisions. But the main things are, Paddy McNair, although we can get him for 4.6, which I think is a bit of a bargain. I've had a real-life scout report, though, from commenter Nico Nesto, who said that he signed him, and he wasn't that impressed. Not that impressed. I had some reservations about him as well. Mainly about how he compares to Aidan Flint, who is his competition. Maybe his heading, his defensive prowess is a little bit low, as well as his speed and also his strength. He's a good ball player, we know that, but is he the right one for us? Now, I think we can get away with not signing a centre-back now, and maybe, as I've discussed with a lot of you commenters, maybe the right choice is to wait until January and send out the scouts specifically to get us that new centre-back to replace Flint long-term. We want a youngster as well, like Paddy McNair, 22, around that age. But we want to be looking long-term with him. Davis, everyone agrees, I think, that signing him, even on a loan transfer, is the way to go. He's got a 5.8 option to buy. Hopefully we can activate that before the end of this year. So I guess by the end of the season, hopefully we will have sold Lee Tomlin or someone, and we'll have the money to buy him outright. Because I think we all know he's going to be excellent. He's only 19 years old. He could already push Pack and Rossiter for that starting position. So I think we're definitely going to go with him. De Jong. I like De Jong. He's only 2.6 million. Questions have been whether we need Ruben and De Jong, which I think is fair. If we can wrap up De Jong and Davis for, just over 3.5 million, I think we're going to have to sell Cherie in this window, though, only because the bid that we've had in for him is so high. I don't think we're going to get that again for a 29-year-old. So we will be selling him. Question is, do we bring anyone in to play in that second striker role? So do we just not sell Engval and hope that Roberta and, I guess, De Jong coming in can play that second striker role if we need a replacement for Dowell? But before we deal with any more transfer stuff, we're going to play our first game. We're going to get straight into it. It's Newcastle United. We're away from home for the second time. 2 games running. We're away. And now we're well up north. It's amazing how far north Newcastle actually is. If you're a southerner like me and you don't really know the geography of anything above Birmingham, it's basically Scotland, isn't it? Fucking mental. So it's a long trip for Ian Holloway. But let's have a look at the sides today. Oh, Freddie Friday. It's on a downward arrow. I think we'll start Big Nige instead then. Kieran Dowell and Pack both on blues. That's good to see. In a situation like this, we'd definitely be able to bring in Davis, the loanee, instead of Rossiter on a downward arrow. But for now, we don't really have anyone we want to play there. Other than that, do we give Mings his first start or do we start Angelino? We'll give Mings a go. He's definitely not as good attacking-wise. His passing is pretty poor. But defensively, he's a much better player. Stronger. He's quite quick. Good ball winner. So we'll give him a go. And obviously, he's good in the air as well. He's tall. So up against Newcastle. Jose Perez up front. It's a nice looking formation. I like that. Don't often see people playing with an attacking midfielder like that. And they've got Miami Vice. Anyone from our Become a Legend series will know that we have a love-hate relationship with him after our time at New York City FC with him, pushing Jack Harrison out of the side. But it's a good, strong team all the way around here. So this is no means an easy match. Let's get into it. So we're back up against our nearest rivals in the Championship. They came up second place, the other automatic promotion spot. Went to Newcastle. They looked like they were running away with the Championship. But Bristol had a late push and we looked really good at the end of the season. We finished top of the table, not by much at the end. We nearly threw it away with those 3 losses in a row. But eventually we made it. There's Tyrone Mings, new signing in from Bournemouth. He's very much a reserve option, but actually, he's a decent replacement for Angelino. Not attacking-wise, but defensive-wise he is. So we'll see how he gets on today. Throw into Jordan Rossiter. Head up, looking for Tammy Abraham into the box. It's a lovely header from Abraham. The swivel. Oh, the swivel on that header was gorgeous. almost put us up straight away. Pack now into Dowell. He's able to turn away. Hits it really well. Kieran Dowell, that's a good effort. Really, really strong start here. Away from home. We want to show that we're still the bosses of Newcastle United after we finished above them. Lovely little turn there away from Jonge. It's a decent effort from Dowell. Again, his finishing does need to improve for him to be a really world-class player. Oh, it's a mistake there. Dowell through on goal. Can he square it for Abraham? And this should be 1-0. Oh, it nearly wasn't. But it is. Oh, that's a huge calamity of errors. Not a calamity of errors. That's a huge load of errors for Sells. Anyway, the first one was poor. Kieran Dowell, Johnny on the spot there. Could have taken it himself. Actually, that was not a good pass. And Abraham had quite a lot to do, and he almost didn't do it. But Sells, well, the comedy continues as he puts it onto the post and then back into himself and into the goal. Yeah, he's gutted. That's not a great start for Newcastle, but we go ahead. Are we on the verge now of our first win in the Premier League? Well, we're only 5 minutes in, so let's not get excited yet. Mings again challenged in the air. This time he doesn't do so well. And Newcastle come away with a throw in a dangerous position. Gouffran, first time ball. Packs in there though. Great play from him. And now Dowell. Can he find the right ball into Abraham? That's a decent one. Is Abraham going to get there? No. Sells makes amends this time. But Abraham... No! Matthews! Oh, what? No. How did he miss that? Matthews had an open goal to aim at there. He hit it well, but maybe too hard. I thought the keeper would be further back. I thought we needed to hit it harder. That should have been 2 there. Cuts back onto his right foot. Puts the ball in. Dowell looks for the header down into Rossiter. He's hit that really well. Marlon Pack on the rebound. It's a great save from Sells this time to prevent the second goal. But Bristol City really purring now, but Matthews' pass goes astray. But Abraham gets the nod on back to Matthews. Matthews back to Rossiter now. Early cross from Jordan Rossiter with his left foot. Dowell gets the header. Great save off the line from Sells. The ball's still in. Yedlin can clear, but only as far as Urbis, but it's over. Wow, should have had a goal there. Couple of good opportunities. Oh, it's a nice ball. Looking for Yedlin, who's made a run, but Magnuson gets there and he clears to Robertha. Inside to Rossiter. We know Yedlin's out of position. Here's Kieran Dowell looking for runners. Little chip ball into Tammy Abraham. That's beautiful. The touch. He should have hit it first time. Well, no. I would have expected Tammy to take that out of the air. He didn't. That should have been 2. If we lose a goal now, this is going to be really disappointing because we've had so many chances in this game. Newcastle looking every inch the Championship side, whereas we look every inch Premier League team today. Mings inside to Dowell. That's nice. Oh, his little back heel takes him away. It's gone all the way out to Matthews. He's made a good overlapping run. Can he get the ball into the box? He can. Packs there. That was maybe the wrong choice from Kieran Dowell. Mings gets up. Loses the header there. Ooh, Mings slid in a bit quickly there. Now Yedlin can put a ball in. Rossiter. Can he get this away? He can. That's dangerous. You should not be passing like that across the box. And it's 1-0 here at the half. St James's Park silent as Bristol City have put Newcastle to the sword in this first half. Really should have scored 2 or 3 at least. So many chances. Newcastle absolutely uninspiring. 37% possession. That's terrible. That's unacceptable. 4 shots on target. Should have been more. Should have been 2 or 3-0. Let's see if we can put this game to bed in the second half. Oh, Abraham does really well. And now Dowell looks for the chip into Nigel Robertha with the header. Heading not his best strength. We know that from the stats. Maybe a touch there would have been good. Oh, but Dowell caught in possession by the substitute Diarmi. And now he finds Jose Perez. Into Gouffran. Better play here from Newcastle as Diarmi comes forward. Spreads it wide to Vladimir Weiss. Ball into the box is blocked by Matthews. Oh, but it's fallen to Gouffran, edge of the box. Flint does enough to clear. Jonjo Shelvey. Into Gouffran. Newcastle upping the tempo a bit here. But they've lost out again. Abraham has to go back. But now Pack finds wide to Matthews. That's a great ball. Matthews puts it in. Rossiter. 1-on-1 with the keeper. Robertha misses the header. And it's fallen out. I can't believe we haven't scored a second. Flint, huge header from him. That's why we don't need another centre-back at the moment. Because Flint is more than capable. The ball breaks down and Newcastle have it again. Usually Perez through to Gouffran. Spreads it wide, but Matthews should be able to cut that out, and he does at pace. And now Matthews streaming forward. Looks for the ball inside to Dowell, who turns. Oh, it's a good challenge, that. Late substitutions here, just for energy's sake. Cherie, Freddie Friday, they get a run out. Roberta, again, has had trouble getting into this game. To be fair, the whole team has. Other than the mistake goal, nothing's really worked for us. Oh, it's a late corner here for Newcastle. To give this away now with so many chances missed would be absolute heartbreak. Shelvey whips it in. Alabek's there at the far post. Gets it across the box. Mings does so well to get that away. He's had a mixed game. That makes up for all of it. Oh no, Marty can't get it away. Still Newcastle calm. It's a great ball from Shelvey out to Anita. Flint does just enough to break that up. And now Matthews puts his foot on it. Calm play from Matthews. Round of applause for Tyrone Mings for hopefully rescuing what would have been a really annoying missed 3 points. His clearance off the line was brutally good. Brutally good. Magnussen steps in, wins it back from Perez. Just need to keep possession here. There we go. It's the first win in the Premier League era for Ian Holloway's Bristol. Not a pretty one by any stretch of the imagination, but a win nonetheless. My gosh, if we hadn't have won that with the chances we squandered, would have been ridiculous. 12 shots, only 5 on target. Newcastle limited to only the 1 shot and only 40% possession. Our dominance against championship sides continues. Newcastle, they're a side that we'd be expecting a bigger fight from than this. So it's clear to see that Bristol City mean business in the Premier League. Tammy had a difficult game, missed some chances. Roberta struggled to get involved out on the left. Doesn't have the blistering pace that made Dicko so dangerous in that position. Pretty average all round really, but again, 3 points on the board. That's what counts. We have begun and we're in 6th. Yes, look at that. Lovely stuff. So we're getting very close to the end of the window now. Rubio Rubin, which is such a great name. It's almost worth signing him on that strength. We've signed some great names so far. We've had a scouting report in for Zinchenko. Another decent looking young attacking midfielder, but he's no better than De Jong. Let's remind ourselves again what we're looking at here. 2.8 for Rubin, 2.6 for De Jong, and then Davis for 989. I mean, we could sign them all without having to even sell Cherie. Or do we keep the money and try and sign a really good centre-back? I think I've decided we're not going to sign McNair. There's been too many negative vibes, both from myself and other people, that he might not quite be right. He looks decent, absolutely, and all of you have said we should sign him. I can understand why you say that. But there's just something that isn't quite feeling right about him. So I'm going to end that. That's not happening. We're saving the money. Save that 5 million or 4 million or whatever it is we've negotiated. And hopefully spend that in January on some real quality. Question is, do we sign Rubin now? I think we're definitely selling Cherie because we need that money. We're never going to get that big a bid for him ever again, I don't think. Not at this age. 5.8 million is ridiculous for him. Absolutely ridiculous. So, Cherie, although you've been an excellent servant of Bristol City, contributed in a big way to our promotion, I'm afraid you're gone. And now we've got a war chest. 11 million. That's amazing. Now, the question is... Well, no, there's no questions anymore. We're definitely bringing in Davis. That's a no-brainer. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have the 5.8 million necessary to sign him on a full transfer. But that covers us in central midfield now. We've got everything we need there. The question is, do we look to sign Rubin or do we sign De Jong? The reason we'd be signing Rubin is because we do need someone who can play naturally in the second striker role, by which I mean has a red area in their preferred positions map. De Jong, he might be able to play there, but he'd probably come in somewhere around 69, maybe 68 in that. And we want someone who can play there well. Rubin's a decent passer. He's quick. He's probably a better player than De Jong, really. De Jong's a much better passer. This is tricky. I'm going to hold off on these two until deadline day, just in case the scout brings back anything else. Davis, I think that was a definite, really. And then the question is, do we keep Engvall or do we sell him, cash in on him now? I think we can keep him. He's only 21 years old. we'll leave him in the squad. And there's a lot of big fans of Gustav Engvall. So I think we're pretty safe to keep him in. Let's keep cracking on. Not a huge amount left for us to do here. Deadline day might be a bit of a damp squib. Because there's not really much we need to do. We want to save the money. Get the scouts earning their crust around the world, looking for that top-class centre-back to be our centre-back duo for Magnussen for years to come. That's what we want. So Davis and Sherry swap places. Davis, real bit of quality there. And also the option to buy is an important one with him. So it does mean that we're going to have to go half the season without a true centre-back cover. Although we do have a Marty, as you can see, is 73 overall rated at centre-back and right-back. He's 74. He's just a beast wherever you put him, basically. And Rossiter's pretty decent at defensive midfield. I'm happy for him to go there. Davis can actually play there as well. Not as well as that. So I'm not too concerned about that. I think just adding either Ruben, I guess probably it makes sense to add De Jong to this. That's all we need to do, really, I think. Pretty sure. Let's keep going. We can just chill now. Got the Fulham game, and then we can mosey on down to transfer deadline day, safe in the knowledge that we've done our business early. We've made the right recruitment choices, in my opinion. Thanks to all of you as well who've contributed to that. So here we go. Match day 3, and it's Fulham, another promoted side. We're getting them ticked off early, and if Newcastle's anything to go by, we shouldn't really struggle against these guys. Freddie and Tammy both on downward arrows. That's unfortunate, but we need to get them in form, so we're going to play him from the start. Other than that, we could hand Davis his first start over Jordan Rossiter. Let's compare these two because they're very similar players. Similar age, similar positions. Rossiter undoubtedly the better passer. Ball control's great as well, and he shows that off. But physically, Rossiter loses out. That seems to be the main area. Davis has got a goal in him as well, but that's not so important in his position. I think Rossiter's the better player. There's no doubt about that. Overall rated and mix of ratings wise, but Davis is a very capable replacement. So we might look to see Roberta late on, but I want to give Friday some chances because he is our real hope for the future. Let's not forget this guy's only 22 years old, but he's got so many important stats. It makes me feel like he's going to be a real hero for us. So it's another away game. 3rd of the season, 3rd in a row. We're at Craven Cottage. Not so far to travel as Newcastle, but still a decent slog from Bristol to London. But it's a lovely stadium, Craven Cottage. I've said it before. One of my favourite stadiums. The history, the prestige of this ground, and it's a lovely family atmosphere. Let's get into it and let's make some children cry. It's that standard long ball at the beginning of the game. Oh, Friday doesn't win the challenge there, but Rossiter, great strength and running there, and then he releases Dowell down the left-hand side. Maddle seems to have made a mistake. Oh, Dowell nearly gets back inside of him. Oh, but he's made another mistake there. Ball out for a Bristol City throw. Putting the pressure on early as we love to do. Kieran Dowell turns. Whips it in, looking for Tammy Abraham. The header's there. And that ball in from Kieran Dowell was absolute son of a bitch. He's well offside as well. Oh, it was a good ball though. Kieran Dowell with the right foot whipped it in. Maybe Tammy wasn't expecting it, which is why he was so far offside. Amati wins the header really well. And now it's Fred Friday, skips away from Adoy. Then he looks to put it into the box to Kieran Dowell. Couldn't find the pass. Good first touch though from Fred Friday. Marlon Pack now looking for the run of Friday into the box. Using his strength to push all these players off. Fred Friday, the curling effort. Miles wide. He was taken out by a few different players at once mid-shot. He is on a downward arrow which might affect his ability to curl in finesse shots from that area. But slightly disappointing. Marlon Pack battling with Johansson. Scotty Parker. Oh, Pack's won it again. Dowell ball into Friday. Takes it down well. Powers through. Couldn't quite win it. Marlon Pack making an absolute nuisance of himself in the midfield area. Don't want to be caught in possession with Marlon Pack around. Tupac will fuck. Oh, Kieran Dowell wins it back this time. Can he spread that through to Abraham? Yes, he can. And Abraham's put it wide. Difficult challenge. He was falling away. It's a wet pitch here at Craven Cottage. But Fulham giving the ball away so much. Dowell with great vision, picking out the run of Abraham. With his unfavoured left foot, he squirms it just wide. Chances upon chances again here. Fulham passing it around at the back, trying to find an opening. The pressuring from Bristol has been pretty good to this point, but now Odoi with a bit of space. It's a good ball. Ayite. Magnuson steps in, deals with that. He continues to run it out himself. Angelino inside to Rossiter. And now Friday. Oh, he's tackled through the back then. Got to be looking at that, ref. Oh, Dowell's won that back. Oh, has he won it? He has. Dowell puts it out wide to Fred Friday. Fred Friday, can he get his first goal? No, he's hit it straight at the keeper. Now it's Johansson. Marlon Pack, though. Look at the pace from that. Pack out to Matthews. Threads it through to Abraham. Now Kieran Dowell. Back to Tammy Abraham. No, what is that? Tried to pass it to Friday. He would have been chronically offside had it got through. Poor decision making there. 30 minutes gone in this game. Kieran Dowell to whip it in. Amati's made a good run, but it's out only as far as Matthews. Adam Matthews looks to hit it from distance. The rebound finds Martin. And now Fulham look to break. They've been uninspiring so far in this game. The home fans not pleased with their performance. It's Ayite now. Good ball into Martin. He's got options. Back to Ayite. Martin's found the effort. Did well to manufacture a shooting chance out of that. It's 0-0 at the half. Disappointing half here from Bristol City. Not as disappointing as I'm sure the home fans will be feeling about Fulham's performance. They've had possession, but in terms of shots, they've been worse than average. They've had the possession, but very little else. We've had some good opportunities, and actually the Abraham chance where he tried to find Friday had gone offside. It makes me worry slightly about that partnership, but they need to get to know each other. It was not an intelligent run from Big Freddy. Well worked out of defence there, but Abraham's won it back now. Ball into Rossiter. Spreads it wide to Angelino. We've not seen enough of him. Oh, great play. Still Angelino. He gets away from one. Can he get the ball into the box? He can. Kieran Dowell's there with a header. Kieran Dowell puts it on his bonce. Straight into the goal. And it's Angelino. It's banter into Dowell. And that's what we needed. Friday and Abraham misfiring so far. But it's Kieran Dowell. So often the spark behind our wins in difficult games. Gets a great head to that. Angelino, lovely work down this left-hand side. I knew we need to get him involved more. First time, skips away from the challenge. The advantage was played. He's got the pace to get away from Ayite. And that's a lovely, lovely header from Kieran Dowell. Stooping at the near post. Matthews wins it back. Oh, Abraham. Great feet from the striker. Nearly loses out, but Amati does well. Now the ball over from Abraham's a good one. Can Friday bring it under control? He can't. He's really struggled today. Abraham into Dowell. Will Friday make a run? No, he won't. Where are you going, Fred? Fuck's sake. Magnuson lofts it into the box. Engvall the substitute. Can he get the header down? No, but it's fallen to Marlon Pack, edge of the box, but his control lets him down. Fulham now looking for a last attack, but Roster tries to cut it out, and he does. And it's a 1-0 win here at Craven Cottage. Another tight game where we really struggled to create anything. It was a great Kieran Dowell header, the difference between the sides. But yeah, two of potentially our easiest games. Let's be honest. Newcastle and Fulham, the two other promoted sides. We know we can beat them. We have done in the past. These were always going to be our easiest tests. And to be honest, they've been pretty hard. You know, it's been difficult for us to work any proper chances. Fred Friday really struggling to adapt to the Premier League. He looks like he's got all the elements needed to be a good striker, but he's really struggling to put them into place. Kieran Dowell was the goal scorer today. Abraham missed chances as well. They're going to really need to improve as a duo. That was the big chance for Friday there. He put that right into the keeper. So yeah, I mean, stats-wise, we were definitely on top, but it's a tough game really. Yeah, Friday 5.5. I mean, Pack and Roster. I thought Pack played better than 5.5 really. So there we go. It's another win though. Let's be glad of that. And we're sitting pretty now in 5th position. So we're into transfer deadline day. It has begun. Normally I try and do some stuff in the day before, but I forgot to change the frequency of when it stops. So doesn't look like we're going to get any more scouted prospects for us. We've got 10 million in the bank, 7 million salary budget, which is pretty fucking pointless. But anyway, what do we do here? Do we want to leave ourselves with a load of money, or do we want to bring in De Jong and Ruben as other options for us? It's about 5.5. No, it'd be good to have over 5 million to spend on a centre back. Question is, do we go for De Jong or do we go for Ruben? So let's compare these two then. Ruben is quicker. Ruben is quick. He's not like super quick. Actually, he's pretty slow for such a small player. Both them 20, 21 respectively. De Jong the better passer. Obviously Ruben the better finisher. De Jong not a goal scorer, but he's a good passer. Definitely is a good passer. Right, I'm going to go for De Jong. That took me a long time to decide. I've edited this out, but I'm going to go for De Jong purely because of his passing stats. If Dowell can't play and we need a second striker, then I think what we'll do is probably play De Jong as an attacking midfielder, and we'll play 4 in midfield. Tweak the formation slightly. That's my only worry. Ruben, although we could definitely bring him in as a second striker, his passing isn't really good enough, and he's not got the pace or anything else to make up for that. He's a very average player. Whereas De Jong's got the ability to turn into a really good passing player. His finishing is poor, but that's fine. He's got a good combination of other stats that I think will turn him into a decent player over time, bearing in mind he's only 20 years old. So we're going to sign De Jong, and that's going to be our last signing of the window. 13 hours left, in which Ian Holloway can do whatever the bloody hell he likes. Because we are done here. Unless I've had another scouting report in. That's interesting. Why do it then? Oh, it's alright. It's just a defender. So while we're here in the scouting report, I'm going to do, as I said, we're going to start looking for a centre-back. So first of all, we're going to look for a young Dutch centre-back. And second of all, we're going to look for a young English centre-back. We want to be going young as much as possible because we need players we can develop. And third of all, we're going to go for just a really good centre-back. See if there's anyone. We might get someone relatively young. So that's what we're going to save our 7.4 million for. We're thinking long-term here. I'm quite glad that people stepped in and said, whoa there, whoa. Maybe you don't need to sign all 4 of those players now. Maybe they're not necessary. If we're not buying players that can really push for the first team spot, which I don't think McNair would really this season, I wouldn't have been comfortable starting him over Flint, then what's the point in buying him? And I agree. I'm glad I've got you guys to reel me in. And now we've got 7.4 million in the war chest. Come January, we can make some really, really interesting signings. We'll have options in January, which we wouldn't have had before. So there we go. That's all we're going to do for today, I think. Shall I just do the ceremonial next? Or shall I keep skipping? We'll skip. Do a couple of skips, see if anything interesting happens. There aren't really any players that we can sell. Engvall we're going to keep as a 4th striker. Cherie obviously went out. There's nothing more to do here, so we're going to just going to go. So there we are. Interesting transfer window it has been. Let's just remind ourselves of the new players. Look at that, Dowell in the team of the month. That's great. 1 assist and 1 goal gets you in with only 3 games. That's fair enough. So that was a pretty efficient transfer window. I'm pretty pleased with that. Let's remind ourselves of the new signings. So in this transfer window, we bought in the 2 new strikers. Friday, who's struggled a little bit to adapt so far, but I've got big hopes for him. We've also got Nigel Robertha, who is, he's a like-for-like replacement for either Abraham or Friday, really, considering his abilities. We've also bought in Davis on a loan. Really, really great player. He can slot into any of these 3 positions pretty comfortably. We've also got De Jong, the most recent signing. He can play at central midfield, not so well at second striker, but if we're going to bring him in, we'd drop back Dowell's position to attacking midfield and slot him in there. And then we also bought in Tyrone Mings, left back cover, enabling us to sell Goalborn for a hugely inflated price. He can also play at centre back if needed, and right back as well. So, yeah, we're probably still a couple of players short of a really, really good side, but we've got the bare bones of it, and come January, we're going to sign a really, really great centre-back who's going to be the replacement for Aidan Flint, who at 28, he's not declining yet, but he's not going to get any better. Magnussen, he's only 24. He's got time to keep improving. I'm a big fan of his. Huge, huge Icelander. So, yeah, pretty pleased. Should we have signed all 4 of those signings when we could have done? Well, McNair wouldn't have played. He would have been on the bench, save for really, really poor form from either Flint or Magnussen. So that would have been a potentially wasted 4 million. Should we have signed in Rubin? Well, maybe. De Jong can just about play. Well, no, we can't play a second striker, but we can have him as an attacking midfield. We've kept Engval, putting a bit of pressure on the 3 strikers. Should we have signed Dicko? That's maybe the one where I'm starting to think maybe we should have done, but that remains to be seen. We'll see how we get on this season. We've started well, as we've seen in this episode, with 2 wins. We're sitting in 5th after 3 games, which is a great, great start for Ian Holloway. Reminiscent of his Blackpool side that came into the Premier League and did really, really well straight away with their gung-ho styles. We've got Reading in the FA Cup in the next game. We'd like a good run in the FA Cup. And then we've got Arsenal, our first game at Ashton Gate, and what a huge, amazing tie that is. Join me on Monday for the next episode, and then I think on Friday, a week today, we should have another live stream. So look out for that, and I'll see you in a bit.